What's up, Gingers? I'm Neon here for my new post-commentary video for my Splatoon 2 NG Plus world record in 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 36 seconds. I did this run live on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Neon, so if you want to see some more Splatoon 2 speedrunning, make sure to drop a follow there. Do it! Make it happen! Alright, Gingers, we're hopping into Octo Canyon. We got the dually selected, we got curling bombs selected, and we're going straight to level 3. Dualies is one of the 3 weapons that we use. It's got a pretty short range, pretty decent fire rate, but it lets us use dodge rolls. Dodge rolls we are going to use all over the place. They're incredibly fast and make up for a lot of its negative attributes to the weapon. You also see curling bombs right here. Curling bombs paint a line of ink right in front of you. A lot faster than just doing shots, so if you have the ink to use on a curling bomb, you might as well. Save time in a ton of places. The dualies and curling bomb combo are really the meat and bones of this speedrun. And right here, we're doing a lot of specific jumps around these ink pillars, hopping off this box, doing some sick parkour, because welcome to it's Squid Game. We do things fast. To make this cycle right here, guess what? We were on a global cycle the whole time! I didn't even have to mention it, because it's honestly not that hard anymore for me. And that's what happens when you put in 920 attempts. We're doing more rolls on these zip pads. Then we just time our rolls at the very end here so we don't get hit by the pillars and get ourselves a nice 102. Next, we're going to do some sick schmenuing over to level 2 and use our second weapon of all 3 that we use. It's the hero shot. The hero shot has a bit more range than the dualies, a bit better of a fire rate and damage output. The problem is it can't dodge roll, and dodge rolls are just so important in a lot of places that we end up using the dualies a lot more than the hero shot. The problem with some levels is that we need the range or we need the fire rate. Which is why, especially with level 2, level 1 that we're doing here, we have to use the hero shot, no matter what. Unless you want to be a nerd! Inking a lot of these sponges here. We do that setup with the sponge shots and the curls. Climb up these walls. You have no idea how many times I reset because of shot accuracy being terrible. Trying to cut up all of these edges and turns as quickly as I can. Trying to cut corners because World 1's very optimized. We hop down there to the bounce pad because it's faster than climbing up. By a lot, actually. It's like a few seconds. Going up the sponge. Quickly inking the wall. Onto the pad. You can choose to pick up a splash down here to quickly take out a lot of these enemies, but I choose not to. I have setups at this point. We're just using my shot. Which I sort of get. It's a little slow. But that wasn't too bad. I've seen far, far worse.
Wasn't close enough. Still fast though. Probably 134, I think.
We're gonna now hit this balloon to ink up the sponges and then climb up the sides. We have to delay a little bit so we don't bonk our head on one of the sponges. And then we get a nice 134. Next up, we're heading into level 1. Level 1, we're going to see the first instance of a trick called Bomb Crush. And it's going to also use a different sub-weapon as well. We'll start with talking about the Splat Bomb. The Splat Bomb is just a basic bomb projectile that you can throw in this game. The difference between it and a curling bomb is that instead of just throwing it in front of you, you like lob it forward. And that's going to be important for what we do with Bomb Crush. First, we got to do some movement, aggro this enemy with our bomb, then just shoot it in the back, no big deal. Use the splat bomb to break boxes out of our range. And what we'll do here, we'll shoot in front of us, throw a bomb, and the box drops on top of the bomb, blows it up, and then we can take out all of the enemies right there. It leads to a very efficient section, and if you're skilled enough, you can also use a second bomb to take out some of those enemies there, like I did. I've memorized exactly where that key is. How would I have not? You see that attempt counter? Also do what's called an Insta Kill here. Despite my angles being bad, you can just shoot above this guy's shield and instantly kill him if you know the range that you have to shoot. That one takes a little bit of practice. Mistake.
Really close, actually. What the hell?
And these enemies are always on the same cycle when you get here, so you know exactly where that key is to unlock the box. Nice and easy, 129. Nice. Good time. We're switching to our third of 3 weapons in this route, the Charger. The Charger has a pretty bad fire rate. It has incredible range and pretty mediocre damage output. The main thing we're here for, though, is the range. We use, in levels that we need the range more than anything, we have to use the Charger. This is one of them. And you'll see it right here. We're going to store up a charge, and then once the tentacle becomes exposed on top of the oven, we just shoot it with the Charger. We have enough range to just get up there. We don't gotta climb up the sides or anything. We don't gotta take like the slow climb up there. No, we can just shoot it right when the hitbox is there. And the hitbox comes out a lot earlier than you'd expect. So you can shoot a lot before you get any audio cues that you would imagine would let you, you know, take your shots. Right here, we're going to intentionally get our armor broken on this glazing machine, and that stops the attack entirely and progresses through this fight faster. We do some tactical squid bagging to manipulate RNG for later. I miss a shot right here, but as you'll see, I just barely make it work and still get a 110.
I got a 110 with a missed shot? Wait, how? How? What?
You can do that? I didn't know either, past Ginger. I didn't know either. Cool.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought if you missed a shot, you're just gonna...
So now we're hopping into World 2. Straight into the next Charger level. This one's pretty precise. We have these grapplinks in this stage. This is why we need the Charger. We're going to use the grapplinks to get us up all sorts of platforms. We also use this box right here to hit that grappling. It gets to that section like a second faster? Something like that. More basic movement. Then right here, we're going to hop on top of this fence, and we have just enough range to hit this grappling. It is very close. You can't do it with any other weapon. Only the Charger works, I'm pretty sure. Maybe the Splatling. We do another instance of Bomb Crush, this time with a curl, to get that key a little bit faster. We hop around that little structure right there, the little box. Very precise. Would not recommend doing that one. We use the Stingray that we picked up earlier in the stage, hit the fan, hit the grappling, and guess what? We just skipped half of the ending section, and we hop up there, grab ourselves a juicy 102. Stingray Skip.
That one's really hard.
That trick is probably one of the biggest that's actually in the speedrun. Usually we don't get massive level cuts like that, but Stingray Skip is just fantastic. That's his big time save. We can cut out a super jump right here as well by using a dodge roll down to level 7 here. Because dodge rolls mid-air send you downward, but also send you forward. So knowing where they're useful, where they'll send you downward and kill you, where they'll just send you forward, useful to know. We also see the first instance of giant squeegees here. Giant squeegees are annoying. We all hate giant squeegees. However, they're quite attracted to bombs. Therefore, we can manip them, and it's a lot easier in NG Plus in comparison to any %. We have the tools to deal with these bastards. I'll set up a curl here and manip this squeegee by going back a little bit extra so I can get around that platform faster. Throw 2 curls forward and use the squeegee swinging around to push me forward while I jump. Roll across this grate because it's faster than walking. Do some tricky movement throughout this part. I get shot, but I still make it work. Grab the key, roll down. And right here, we can just narrowly go around the squeegee and get onto that pad. I'm aggroing a lot of these enemies very specifically so I don't get screwed over. Jump forward with the momentum, kind of failed it there, but I still grabbed me a 137, which is 1 second off of IO world record.
Nice.
Now, we're hopping into level 5, which is the first grind rail stage of the game. On top of grind rails, we can do more dodge roll boosting. We will use it all over the place because it saves frames every time you do it. Sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more, depending on the scenario. I'm trying to save ink very tactically so I can get enough ink so I can shoot that rail right there, then roll onto it so I can jump here, then roll down, which will save me about a second. Do some specific roll timings there to get some good movement. Coming up here is Nollie Jump, where we're going to be shooting at the wall to a specific visual cue, and then jumping forward by unsquidding, jumping, or no, it's squid, then jump to climb up the wall.
That shouldn't matter. No impact.
I try to avoid doing dodge rolls going down slopes because you have to use 2 rolls instead of 1 like you have to do on upward slopes. And if you have to use 2 rolls, you're consuming more ink, so if you can save your rolls for upward slopes, it's generally faster. You also save a lot of time on rolls just cutting corners like I do right here. And we'll grab us a nice 133.
Nice.
I believe that's 2 seconds off IO world record.
Very good early game. This is a very solid. Very solid.
Going into level 4, we have the opportunity to do a trick called Rolonium boosting. I'll put it up on screen for what it actually looks like, but I opt out of doing it because it is difficult and it has the potential to use you a lot of time and can only really save you a few seconds. I'm the consistency runner here. I don't need the heart tricks.
I don't think I could ever play that well again.
And as you'll see with this run, my name as the consistency runner really shines through. We'll be using this bundles of Rolonium, though, to paint ink. We're painting paths forward, essentially.
Which is fucking ridiculous pace.
The Rolonium's blocking our way where we can curl, so we kind of have to just shoot it. If you've gone fast enough through this stage, you have to make a decision because there's a global cycle at the very end with how the platform's moving. I know because of how fast I'm going, I can take the right side of the platform. Knowing this, I execute. See that Rolonium is not in my way. I curl forward, but I bonk on the spreader there. But I use my backup here.
Just enough to throw one and then jump.
Lands me at 121. That's 4 seconds off IL world record, but you have to keep in mind, I don't Rolonium boost. Fuck Rolonium boosting. Safe strats. Here we're going into our first Octoling Stage. There are 8 of these mini Zapfish. All of the cages get opened up in one shot by a bomb. So we're just trying to utilize our ink tank effectively so we can just throw bombs into all of these cages. There are 2 routes that you can go through this stage. I, as the consistency runner, obviously opt for the safer one, doesn't lose you that much time. And still grab a nice 33, which is 3 seconds off IL world record. I think the best time with this route, RTA route, is a 31, because, you know, boom noise is cracked.
Alright.
Now we're hopping into level 8. This is one of the worst levels in early game. We've got to do some cool tricks here that I'll explain, but it doesn't go too well. These here are ink furlers. You shoot them, they go forward, they give you a path, whatever. Standard procedure at this point. Funny thing about ink furlers, though, if you get a lot of momentum on them, you can just ride an ink furler forward. What do I mean by momentum? How do you get momentum on an ink furler? Simple. I throw the splat bomb here, go in between this ink furler, and it launches me forward, and that'll save me about 3 seconds. It's actually very consistent. Now, in a nice balls to the wall play, I go straight between the shots. I couldn't care about safety. I take down 3 of these sprinklers and enemies. I go for the middle shot. I miss it, and then miss the sprinkler. So I make some mistakes here.
That's unfortunate, but still good pace.
All in all, this right here lost me about 6 seconds.
See, even if I did hit that first shot, the problem is that that sprinkler that I missed would have shot it back, so it would have failed either way.
And that explanation is correct. As you'll see, though, that is about my only quote-unquote major mistake. It's not really a major mistake. That is my only quote-unquote major mistake I make until World 5. That's what we're up against here.
We all know that the time save is late game. World 5 is a golden land of opportunity. Or if I got lucky and played well, I could save up to a fucking minute. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. I also
Past Ian is spitting straight facts right now.
That's why I should stop talking.
I haven't even been explaining Samurai at this point. We use the hero shot because of the increased fire rate. When the tentacle pops out, we throw a bomb to assist in dealing damage. Use curls to get closer to it. I'm not the expert on Samurai. Thunder Films and Eagle Gamer are.
Pretty good indeed. That's not bad at all.
My times are bad. I'm like 2 seconds off IL world record.
An 1823 or something, but we'll take an 1828. Now let's not make another 7-second mistake in level 10, shall we?
Now we're hopping into World 3. We're out of early game. An 1828 out of World 2 is a pretty good pace. Could have been significantly better, though, if I had gotten a better level 8. But we take this. I accidentally do a bomb crush there. That was unintentional, but it looks cool. Just pretend it was intentional, smilers. We're are these things called in the first place? Octocopters? Octoseekers? They're one of the two. Octofools. They fly around, and we're going to try to get on top of one of them later. At this point, we're on a cycle, so I gotta go through this next 20 seconds as fast as I can. We're gonna ink up the sponge, climb up this wall, and because my cycle is good, hop on top of this nerd, throw this curl forward to distract both of the enemies, and ink the sponge up.
See? You just hold on a second to jump, and it works way fucking better. How about
I'm just salty about my last run, that's all. Little did I know what this run would be.
Woo! Okay. I was scared.
A 138
Now we're
is
talking.
5 seconds off of IL world record, but there is a faster cycle you can do halfway through the stage that I opt out of going for. Once again, I'm the consistency runner. It's very inconsistent, and we're already talking about something 20 minutes into the run. I deem it not worth it. I didn't need it for this grind. For a 101, I could see it being needed. Now we're going into 14. 14 is an infamous reset point throughout this game. One of the things about it is right here. Car wash skip. We go into this pillar and we mash B. And if your mash is good, it just launches you straight up, and you get through the section. You don't know how many runs I have lost just having a bad mash in car wash. It's supposed to be such an easy trick, so why do I fail it so much? Who knows? Also, interesting bit of trivia here. I'm currently using the hero shot on this stage. All of the other fastest runners, I mean, Boom Noise and Oboe, they both use the dualies, which is an inherently faster weapon by like 4 seconds overall. But the hero shot's very consistent. So I've stuck with it through thick and thin. We're coming up though on the actual big reset point of this stage and actual straight RNG. After climbing up this platform, we're making this jump that requires a full hop with a good angle. Going around here, shooting this enemy, shooting up, and getting onto this platform without having the enemies behind you ink up where you are trying to jump. If that twinticle behind you inks up exactly where you are trying to jump, you will fall, and you will lose 15 seconds. And at this level, that is a reset. Therefore, I ended up resetting there. A lot.
That was sketchy. But we lived.
At times about 7 seconds off of IL world record. Because of my slower weapon and like the slow car wash and not the greatest level ever. But I'm just glad to not be resetting there.
Just whiffed right by my head and landing like pretty much right in front of me. Yeah. Yeah, that was not good. 14's always tense. If I go back to loading the stage...
Now we're hopping into 12. We've got these bounce pads in the stage. We're going to try to be optimally making a global cycle here. So the bounce pads line up nice for us. And a lot of the enemies and whatnot. I'm very comfortable with the fastest cycle. I'm very uncomfortable with slower cycles. Grab this key. And roll into the lockbox. I bonk onto this box right
I should
here,
still make it on
meaning
top.
I'm actually on a slower cycle, and I gotta just adapt with what I have. I dodge these enemies by getting their aggro a little bit early.
Slow, I'll be honest.
And from this point, I'm off my cycle, and I just have to adapt to whatever I'm seeing. I've seen it a few times, though, so I have a general idea of what I'm up against.
In 14, I'm gonna start
Like with this platform, I know I'm not fast enough to go on that left side, so I just go on the right side. I can dodge roll into those boosts, or those bounce pads right there. I save a shit ton of time. and look cool in the process. Clean movement. And I get a 1:14. What is that? I think that's 5 seconds off IRL world record. My best time in the stage is a 1:12 because you have to do a pretty inconsistent jump near the end to actually get IRL world record. Now we're hopping into our second Octoling stage, level 15.
Do you have the best shot time there is, though?
Let me just say this right now. I am not the best at 15. I'm okay at it. What do I have? Like a 35? World record's a 33. And it's only because of the Rolonium boost with that Rolonium right there. Never go for that Rolonium boost, kids. It's stupid. But it's standard fare at this point. We want to be trying to dodge this toxicness as much as possible because we can't recover ink in it. And it slows us down. Slow equals bad. Grr, speedrunner. I got my armor broken here, which is obviously slow. I killed that Octoling because I don't know how to properly manipulate it. Which would save me a little bit of time, and I grabbed myself a 36 on this stage. 3 seconds off of IRL world record.
Nothing more, though. That's just decent. Who's ready for the fuck you levels?
Now we are hopping into 13. 13 is a pretty scary stage. We're going to do here at the start, we're going to manipulate these bombers to do splash damage onto me into this ink switch. That'll let me get to these platforms a lot faster. We do like a pretty much a 90% partial charge onto that ink switch.
Yeah, that's
so we can get around that Octarian with a curl bomb. And then onto the jump. We're gonna hop up here, get some ink on our feet. Go forward. Link the sides of this platform. And just go straight up. I made some pretty bad mistakes with my curling bomb angles, but it's alright. This isn't an IL, this is NG+. Using the grapplinks right there, we can get over to this flutter pretty fast, hop around them, and again, and go back to the lockbox.
Hey, that was pretty good.
I'm going to do a pretty complicated series of just partial charges to get through this section. Then, I'm going to ink my feet, do a full charge, and hit this grapplink to get to the Zapfish. There's a faster jump you can do there at the ending. However, it is inconsistent. It's pretty hard to get consistently. So, I opt out of going for it, obviously.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Now we're hopping into level 11. There are these enemies. They are called Tentacooks. Sometimes they have keys in them, and this is why we use the charger. We want to hit them from a range without them running away from us. Like this nerd right here. Oh, isn't that so much easier than what you have to do at any percent? Just don't miss shots, and everything is okay. We don't gotta manip them with bombs or anything. Nice, clean charger shots. There's a trick that you can do here called fence hop, which I'll put up on screen. I don't go for it personally. The people who do go for it say it's consistent if you've practiced it enough. The only problem is I have not practiced it enough. It's only a 4-second time save, and I opt out of it. I prioritize slightly larger time saves, which you're going to see later.
Read that paragraph in between a level. What is with my camera? Okay. Tragedy dodge for the last time.
what I'll do here, I'll do a full charge, and then jump at the very corner, right there. By doing the full charge, we're guaranteed to have ink on that ledge, so it's much more consistent to make that jump. Use our range to kill this Tentacook. And then we grab the Zapfish. No problem. A 152, I think that's like 9 seconds off ILD world record, but I'm using significantly slower and consistent strats.
Yeah, charger levels are certainly a lot easier with motion, but that's not saying it's easy in general. It's still hard.
Now we're going to be fighting Octo Stump. Brought a charger into this again because the tentacle spawns on the top of the boss. And we like having range, so we can go boing boing pow right here. 2 quick ones and he jumps to the side, letting me knock off that buckle right there.
That's not, but...
That's a position-based thing. It's not RNG, fun fact.
Very, very good.
We'll throw 2 curling bombs here. Do a full charge and a partial. And that right there is just enough damage that we can do 2 full charges right there. And be enough to break the buckle. Just barely. We'll go to the side and end up this fight.
Holy shit.
On very good pace. This is a very good paced fight. A very clean 56. That's 2 seconds off of ILD world record and 1 second off my personal best on the stage.
Did I just lower the SOB by a second? Nice.
Now we're hopping into boss 4. There's going to be this Ennies on top of the shower that we're going to have to quickly take out with partial charges. The problem with it is that they can dash from side to side. And if they do that, or dodge your shots entirely, the boss can go back, and it'll lose you 5 seconds if you miss a shot. Therefore, this is the most important place to hit charger shots in the run. It is very, very easy to lose time. Do not miss these Octocopters. Because it is precise, this is one of the harder stages, I would imagine, for newer players. Takes a lot of practice, and motion controls. Please don't do this with sticks.
Okay, good.
Despite what my split says, I'm going to be going into level 20 with the hero shot and going for the fastest cycle that is possible on this stage in a run. Because that's what we do around here. We do a significant amount of trolling. This cycle is hard. If you make any mistakes in the first 45 seconds, you aren't making it and you will get your run killed. So you have to play pretty much perfectly for a while. Going right side. Throwing some curls in front of me for good movement. Getting onto this pad. A low 13 second. I'm a little behind right there, but that much won't matter. This is all invisible pathing. I know where all the pathing is. I have this memorized by this point. Dodging shots from these enemies.
Okay, good pace, good pace.
And I'm on good pace right now. I specifically have these curling bombs timed out so it's blowing up these bombers. I can get onto this pad on just a good enough pace. It's actually very close in this run. I throw a bomb to hit that fan over there. So I can get on top of this flutter, grab the key, and go to the launch pad.
Okay, this is a little slow.
I am currently on the fastest cycle, but it's slightly behind. You can do that part a little bit faster, about a second faster. But it is enough. I'll go up to this first tag right here, throw 2 bombs forward without squidding. And that'll let both bombs just hit the fan, so you don't have to do as many shots to hit. Throw this bomb forward, ink the very edge, jump, hit this fan, and hold back so you don't just kill yourself.
Let's fucking go, dude!
And grab the Zapfish by hopping on. 128 is 1 second off of the IL world record.
That's how it's done.
And Past Ginger is popping off because that is a sick time.
128, 1 second off IL world record on the stage. That's how you fucking do it, dude.
Now we're hopping into 19. 19 is a notorious, very difficult level with RNG, and it's long, and a lot of people struggle with it. We'll start out with a bomb crush there to get through those boxes fast. Then we're going to be using bombs here for the grapplings, because we don't have the charger for its long range. We have to substitute. We can't use a charger on this stage. It's just way too slow. We need the balanced abilities of the hero shot. We'll be opening up those cages with keys, and then throwing a splat bomb down to activate the switch without having me shoot it. I have positioning setups to go over those shielded enemies for insta kills. Hope and pray that your shots actually get these switches fast in decent position. Don't get flung off of the stage, but also don't just get stuck there like I did. Big brain. Use a key, use a splat bomb, almost fall off the course.
Okay, sure.
And then get on the pad. What I'll do here, I'll ink this path in front of me, being very safe with it. Then getting the switch, swimming up it, and it'll flick me up onto the next platform. Then we can kill the Tentacook, and it'll raise this platform. Ink a switch. Wait this out so you don't just jump and die. Kill all 3 of these copters. Wait for the audio cue, throw an auto bomb, and ink this switch to make the fast cycle. I should also explain auto bombs because it's the 3rd sub-weapon and we're finally starting to use them. Auto bombs are very similar to splat bombs, except they have a longer timer to start up, so they're useful for very specific things like that. They're also specifically useful for aggroing enemies, which we're going to see very, very soon, because this is the squeegee section. Everyone hates the squeegee section. I have a setup here, so I throw 2 curls, and don't kill this Octarian. But I kind of fail it. I use 2 auto bombs to specifically aggro these squeegees. But now this squeegee is too far away. I choose not to hop onto it.
Yeah, I chose to play that safe.
And then just ride the one I was currently on to get to the ending with a 227, which is 8 seconds off of IL world record. And 4 off my best.
This is a run.
It is about at this point where I realize, holy shit, this is a good run.
Tell your friends that you just
Once you get past 19, you're actually on a run. 20 and 19 are pretty notoriously difficult stages, especially with the strats I'm going for. So once I'm past it, the rest of World 4 is kind of a breeze. Here we are, going into 16. We got some cycles to go for on the stage. But the cycle, the fastest cycle that you can go for, means you can be pretty lenient with your first 45 seconds of gameplay. So it may look like I'm making mistakes, but I'm not losing any time for them. I'm getting nervous just watching my gameplay. I'm not even running anymore. What's going on? I used a splat bomb to kill these twinicles right there.
Okay. Shouldn't matter.
Then use some rolls to go through that section faster.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine for cycle here. The bad movement doesn't matter.
So we tactically see that Parker is playing Let's Go Eevee in the corner, which is a good taste of game. Then we're going to go on top of this box right here and use the momentum of it going upward to get to this platform a little bit faster. That's going to be important at the ending. In theory, it lets you dodge an Octoballa. The problem is, I was a little slow doing it. I was too distracted by the Let's Go Eevee. Therefore, this guy is almost able to kill me, but I dodge roll out of the way in just the nick of time, dodging a very grim fate. And a reset run. We wouldn't have liked a reset run considering the time I got. I get a 121 on the stage. Pretty shitty time, but I'm going to make up for it with the rest of World 4. It is time to pop off. Activate your primal ginger state. We are going into 17. We have this downward slope on the rail right here, which we're using double rolls for to go through it a bit faster. We have the ink for it, so it's not a big deal. Going around this platform without getting yourself killed. Breezing through here. And getting onto the rail at pretty good pace. Right here, we got a big ol' Octo Stamp DX. You walk up to him, he falls over, and then you down smash him, and you walked up slowly, so therefore he's just instantly dead. And then we get to this lockbox with our brand new key.
What? Okay, that was Angus. That's an Angus thing.
I'm not used to being this fast right here on this section, so my curls are a little bit weird. But it doesn't matter in the end. I get up and grab myself a very nice 130, which is the fastest time you can get with the strats I go for. Scratch that. You might be able to get a 129 without going for left side jump at the start, but you'd have to play perfectly. That's very good for in a run, though.
This is serious now. This is really serious.
Now we're going into 18. 18 is a very nice stage because we get to finally have a bit of a breather in this stage. For how fast-packed this category is, we actually get a breather. And it's pretty close to the end. I mean, we're getting there. We're like 2/3 of the way through the run now. And we're actually going to be able to take a moment inside of the stage. And it is awesome. But first things first, you just got to go through some movement in that first section. And then we're dodge roll boosting all the way up this rail. We're dodge roll boosting for a straight 20 seconds. I also start to contemplate whether I should go for the faster 22 IL ending strat. In the end, I'm going to decide against it because I'm already on good enough pace. It's 8 seconds. Do I really need the 8 seconds? Because it can very easily kill my run. We'll go through Sniper Valley right here. Movement's not hard. Just try to throw that curl so you're still in ink when that sniper shoots.
Usually I go for it no matter what, but if I'm going
Then we're hopping onto the auto-scroller. I grab the armor, and at this point, you are free to do whatever the hell you want for the next minute. You can kill the enemies if you're bored, but at this point, hydrate, and take a breather. Because you're about to go through World 5, and World 5 is stressful. You'll also notice at this point that I currently am playing 27 seconds off of my summer best. And with a split file that has 920 attempts, that is a very, very good pace. As you can see with the best possible time, though, it's going to deteriorate a little bit in World 5. However, my first 4 worlds were so good that this time ended up still being very, very solid. If it wasn't for my first 4 worlds being as good as they were, I would have not gotten the time I had. I go for this jump at the ending. There's no visual cue. Just feel it out and get a nice 2:16. Just 2 seconds off IL record and tied for my PB on the stage. Now we're going into 21. Another Octoling Stage, this time on Moray Towers. Everyone loves Moray Towers, huh?
Come on.
It's not that bad. Just get good, lol. Do some nice rolls down. Accidentally delay your curl because you're ginger. Don't die to that splash wall going around it, as I have done on good pace. Don't get sniped by any of these snipers in bad spots. You can hop over this part right here to grab the Zapfish a little faster, instead of going actually on top of the ledge. Hop up through your curl. Don't need to switch to Splat Bomb. Curl into our last Zapfish for a 45 on the stage, which is 3 seconds off IL world record.
45-24 out of World 4. Are you serious?
This is also about the point where I realize I am on
That's my best ever.
absolutely insane pace out of World 4. 45-24 out of World 4 is my fastest ever pace by 4 seconds. And if we're not counting the other God run, it beats all my other runs by like 20 seconds. So now we're going into 23. I recently got TWR on the stage, which isn't actually TWR because Alpha is just holding on a 145. But I've learned a lot through that IL grind. Therefore, I'm going to apply a lot of those strategies in this run.
Yeah, I'm doing the backup.
I think that my setup isn't going to work, and then I start making a few blunders right there, but that's fine. That's just a second, and I have lots of other time in the stage to save.
Here's the thing. If I keep this pace right now, I think I'm going to go for the safe strat at the end of 22. Because if I miss the fast strat, my run is dead, and I really don't need it right now. I haven't done the safe strat in a bit, but like it's
I miss going down to the bottom rail right there to do extra dodge rolls to save some time, but that's because of my jumping. And you gotta start realizing I am on pretty big nerves at this point. I do 2 rolls there so I can get my second roll out faster to get to the bottom here. Hopping over this pillar with no fear. Save some ink right here. So I can do extra rolls at this point. Do 2 rolls face forward, double roll off of it. And you get it every time.
I have no fear!
Then right here, you do 3 rolls. And you'll always get that boost.
Oh, the practice is coming out, baby!
Do some more rolls to the ending. Make sure I have Splat Bombs equipped for the next stage. And then grab myself a 148, which is 2 seconds off of my old best.
That's the fucking practice coming out.
And a nice gold, because those strats are very useful. Now is the point where the ginger starts getting loud. He starts throwing. So I'm going to like start actually just editing music over this because Ginger starts screaming around a little bit. He's a little rascal, let me tell you. Another Zapfish level. More Octolings. Using the bounce pads to get to these first 2. A nice throw there. We manip our movement here so an Octoling doesn't spawn right in our face. Once again, we manip our movement here so the Octoling doesn't spawn in front of us so we can get down or break this box way faster. Problem right here. I missed this bomb throw, so I have to back it up. Now I'm low on ink, and I'm a little behind. And when you're low on ink and a little behind on the stage, it has some effects on the ending. I still grab a 40, though. Here begins the bleed. Ooh.
Obo does not do the risky strat. The risky strat involves you. The risky strat is the IL strat.
Now we're hopping into 22. 22 is a very notoriously difficult stage.
133 or 132, but I'm not gonna do it.
I am opting in this run to not do the fast 22 IL ending strat, which I'll show when we get there. Because it is sick. However, it is an 8-second time save that can very easily kill your run. So let's not do it. This is all invisible pathing. I have it memorized, just have a general idea of what's safe and what's not. Fun fact right here. I try to climb this ledge, but my controller is too close to my desk. I bump the top, and I throw a curling bomb because the desk hits my trigger. And I end up losing 2-3 seconds for that? See, my desk position RNG wasn't that good. My manip was bad, dude. I used the 2 curls here to go through this invisible path a bit faster, kill this Tentacook, and get to the lockbox. Then coming up here, I'm going to use this dash track to go through this a little faster, and then we have the fight section. Right here, I'm going to stall to kill these 2 enemies, throw the bomb forward, get the shielded enemy, take out these 2 because they're in a decent spot, get on the pad. That is a very, very good fight. Can't ask for better. We're going to go around all of these enemies right here. Hope they just don't break your armor. And right here, I'll show IL ending strat in like the corner or something. But I'll be doing the nice, safe ending strat by using a 2 autobomb setup to bait these squeegees. Once they start shooting, throw your first autobomb. Hop on top, throw an autobomb forward, which I kind of fail here, but it didn't really matter because the squeegees were nice. And grab myself a 146, which is quite literally 14 seconds off the best ever time. So, if this gets beaten, it's probably going to be a lot of 22 time save, would be the main reason. That is the biggest time loss in the run. Single-handedly. It's quite significant. But to play 22 perfectly is very, very difficult. Now we're going through 26. I play like a little bitch here because I have lost a very good paced run right there to going a little bit too fast with that baller. We're going to pick up an Ink Storm here, which we're going to use at the end of the stage. Therefore, if you die in this stage, you lose a lot of time. You need this Ink Storm to go fast. So if you lose it, you can't get another one, and a death will cost you over 20 seconds for sure. We know those jumps work, so we can go through them without having to be safe. I get a little caught on a little corner there. That's fine. Go up to the gusher. Got some pretty tight corners around these balls. I noticed that there's a clump of enemies right there. The problem is, I'm on a pretty slow cycle, so I really shouldn't be getting clump right now. So what do? I have to figure out on the spot that I guess I'll just go right side here, dodge those enemies.
Sure, yeah.
And then wait out this ball so I don't just get knocked off to the side, right? Almost died to that baller there. And then grab the Zapfish.
Okay.
That was very slow, but that entire ending was improv. I've never seen a cycle like that before, and I just had to adapt. There was nothing I could do at that point. Just had to do my best. Now we're going into 24. 24 is the hardest level in the game. Hands down. No questions asked here. Every NG Plus runner will agree that 24 is the hardest level in the game. This is tense. You got to use a charger. You got to hit shots. What you got to do? First, throw this curling bomb forward. Then one here. Jump up very specifically onto that platform. Kill these enemies because that's the safe strat. Please don't go for the risky strat and runs, kids. Get onto that platform with the curl, which I almost miss, mind you. And then do some charger movement throughout those sections and get up onto the pad, right? Here you can do a trick called a yop. Yops are stupid. Fuck yops. We don't do yops here. Instead, we'll be inking up these sponges and going at pretty safe times, because I like keeping my runs on good pace. Then we'll do Senko Cycle here, inking this left side platform and jumping at the very last moment. We'll let you get boosted up right there. Nearly die at the end because I don't have ink. And the platform does just disappear under you because it gets pulled back, right? So you got to get up there fast. I'll do some charger shots. I miss a lot of these shots here. You have to understand, I'm nervous. This is hard. Charger is a difficult weapon to use when you are shaking. But I still get these switches and grab the key.
Let me tell you, could have been worse.
I grab a 124, which the yopless best that you can do with this route is a 118. So it's a decent time, but it's not a good one. Any NG plus runner will tell you, though, that is a very, very good time. Because it's very easy to die in 24. 24 is the biggest source of deaths for pretty much any runner. Now we're into 25. This level has a fast cycle that we can try to go for, and given the cues that we see throughout the stage, and how you're doing in comparison to the global cycle, you can make the decision to go for it. In the end, I don't go for it in this run, because I'm a little slow. I'm shaky. It is hard to go fast when you are shaky, but it is almost over, Ginger. You're almost into RNG, where you can breathe, you can relax. We're doing some nice short hops here, throwing curls forward. Don't short up too much, though, because you wouldn't want to die right now, would you? Some nice shots onto here. The reason I don't go for fast cycle is because I miss that full charge. That is just enough time for me to make the split decision that, okay, I am too slow. Then I missed this ledge right here, which absolutely would have ended it either way. But now I'm quite a bit behind. Just make sure I don't die right there with the platform getting pushed.
Don't fuck up slow cycle now. Here.
Main priority, just don't die as I do this. But we're good. I may have gotten my armor broken, but I'll land this full charge. And once I'm on this platform and get this charge, you can breathe a sigh of relief. You just have to make this jump at the end. Your Octaviolus is done. That is Octaviolus.
I don't think it's gonna be my best ever, but
just land some shots. Hit the Zapfish at the end. And there it is. 57-15 RTA Octaviolus, which ended up being a 41-55 IGT Octaviolus, which is a very fast time. That is currently the fastest ever Octaviolus as of recording this.
I'm back.
I am on sick-ass pace, and here we are, going into Octavio. This is where it matters. You need to get good RNG to get a 102. No questions asked. You need a showerless phase 1, you need a showerless phase 2, and you need a very good phase 3. You don't need a showerless phase 3, though, let me tell you. Here we go, CPU Tick Master, DJ Octavio. The first 2 punches of this fight are guaranteed. Everything past that, this is random. First thing I get, though, straight punches. I can hit back straight punches to deal damage. I have to do 8 damage each phase. And if I get spin punches, I can't hit those back. And he wastes time. If he goes through too many attacks, he'll throw out a shower, which wastes time. We don't like wasting time. Right here, we got another 2 punches, so we're 6-1 in the cycle right now. I'm anxiously waiting the next attack, because I could be on pretty decent pace, and I get 8-1 in this phase. That loses about 12 seconds to optimal, but it's still very fast, and certainly a lot better than getting a shower. Here's where it matters, though. To not get a shower in phase 2, you can't get more than 1 spin attack throughout the entire phase. If you get a second double spin, you are screwed. But I get a double punch to start, so I'm 4-0 in this fight right now, or in this phase. I get a single. That is a massive problem. To actually get a showerless here, I need to get a double and a single, or a double and a double. I can't get a double spin anymore. A double spin is rip. I get the double. I anxiously await this. And Octavio hands it to me on a silver fucking platter. Showerless Octavio in phase 2. We are now currently on absolutely insane Octavio pace. And guess what? It's just about to get better. Because what we see here, a double in phase 3. These are rare. These aren't common. So getting a double in phase 3, that saves a bunch of time. We got another single. So now we're at 4 out of 8 punches in phase 3. Suction bombs. These suction bombs are slow. These suction bombs are stupid. We don't like suction bombs. This right here, another double. If Octavio gives me another double, it is the first ever showerless phase 3. It doesn't happen, but 7 to shower is the best we've ever seen. So, I'm not going to complain about it. We go to the side to dodge the showerless attack and make it a little shorter. And all I need right now is one more punch. I see the spin, and we are good to go, because that guarantees the single. And we are on pace for a 4-3x Octavio. This is it. This is about the point where the Ginger absolutely loses it. Don't miss shots. Come on. At this point, it's a pretty free fight. I get absolutely terrible RNG in phase 4, but just ignore that. I have been grinding this category for almost 4 years, on and off. I haven't been doing it the entire time. I started in the days of Infinite Wizard having a 122 in this category. I was there grinding with Glacianek to get the first ever 113, 115, whatever times we were going for. I was there when Conzome absolutely destroyed both of us with a 109. I took a 4-month break after that and only realized after that that Hashtrice had a 106 in the category. Took me so long to beat that 106, and when I finally did with my own 106.41, Hayes had beaten it the same day with a 106.05. I was so mad that day, I went out and traded in my physical copy and got a goddamn digital copy. On the very same day, I tie world record. What Hayes got with his 106.05 out of pure anger. And past that point, I go on to get the first 105. Boom Noise enters the picture. We see the first 104s. And only recently, in the past month and a half, Boom Noise getting world record down to a 103. And now finally me will be getting a 102. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching. And I will now leave you with this pop-off. Peace out.
Oh my fucking god. Holy shit. Yes! Yes, dude! That is it! 102, baby! Oh my god! Oh my god! I actually did it! Oh my god! I'm done! I'm done at G+, dude! Oh my god!